are going to be looking at the predicted lineup, people. So let's go on to the predicted lineup. In terms of injury news, what have we got? So obviously we don't know because Frank hasn't done his, or he's in his press conference literally as of talking right this second right now. But what do we know in terms of team news?
Yeah, we know, well, good news is that Solanke and Udogie have both travelled and they've just been shown in video arriving in Udine. So they're there. Whether they're, fit enough to start, not 100% sure. That has to be confirmed by Frank. Judging by the fact they weren't involved in the last friendly, I assume they're still probably getting back to full fitness, but they might be involved. So they put them as doubts. We know obviously Dragoshin, Kulusevski, Madison, all long-term injuries and going to be out for a significant period. Kota Takai has a heel injury that is set to keep him out for the next few weeks as well, so he's going to be ruled out for tomorrow. Vuskovic has travelled, but he's not in the squad ahead of a loan with Hamburg, so he's there, but he won't play. But other than that, everyone I believe is fit.
Archer says in the comments there's also a World Club Cup place at stake with the Super Cup. Is that true?
Oh, is that right? What, in 4 years' time? Does
we win it can't be because there's like 3 Super Cups before then.
Super Cup go to the Club World Cup. The winner of the club. No.
Are we going to the Club World Cup, people? Where is the next Club World Cup?
No, I can't see anywhere that it says that.
It maybe works in your favour towards it.
Yeah, maybe it will add to the coefficient thing.
Yeah. All right, but let's get into it. That is the team news. In terms of our predicted lineup, are we going to go for a 4-2-3-1? Are we going to go for a 3-5-2? Are we going to go for a 3-4-3? What do you reckon?
Look, I think we haven't seen any.
Surely Frank's got something cooking.
I think he might do, but we haven't seen any suggestion. Like against Bayern, we didn't check. Like I think if he was planning, I really think if he was planning a formation change ahead of the Super Cup, he probably would have played that in the game against Bayern to trial it, and he didn't. So I'm assuming he's not got something up his sleeve. We need to see the training video. The training video will be with you guys at some point today. Now,
and in that training video, you never know what they could be cooking.
Yeah. Now, I would say what would counteract what I'm saying is the fact that it went so badly against Bayern might mean he changes it up. Yeah. But I do think if he had a plan, formation plan, I would say for the Super Cup, I think he would have played it against Bayern. If you know what I mean. I think he would have trialled it there.
I've just got a feeling that it just went so bad against Bayern. I think he said he learnt a lot. And maybe some of that learning is to change up the formation a bit.
Yeah, but it would be a complete guess to say he's changing formation. It wouldn't be based on anything apart from the fact that he likes to change his formations.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like... Look, it is a guess. I think anything's a guess at this point. But
yeah, but it's not. It's not an educated guess. I would say it's a complete guess.
Well, it's an educated guess in terms of it went completely wrong at Bayern Munich, and we've seen from his time at Brentford that he does change up his formation quite frequently.
Yeah, I would just say we don't have any evidence to suggest he's changing it.
No, unless we see the training video and they're training with 3 at the back.
Yeah, which we haven't seen. So on that basis, what are we doing? On
that basis, we're going to go for a 4-4-2. No, I'm joking.
4-4-2.
Yeah, it probably will be 4-2-3-1. It probably will, but I don't know. There is something in me that just thinks he's going to go 3 at the back.
What do you think, chat? 3 at the back or 4-2-3-1? Same formation. What's he going? Canva says 4-5-1. I'm guessing that's basically 4. Or that's kind of 4-3-3-ish. Or 4-5-1. Yeah. 3-5-2. Anyway, I think we'll just keep it because I think that's probably the formation he's going to go with.
All right. So 4-2-3-1. In goal is obviously going to be Vicario. Back on his home turf, in his home soil. And let's hope he puts in an unbelievable performance for us because we're going to need him.
Yeah, big game ahead. I would say this is one game I think Kinski's passing ability could really come into effect.
I agree.
But I just don't know if he's going to do it because I think Vicario's shot-stopping ability is also going to be important.
But as well, like back in Udine, this whole talk has been Vicario, everything.
Yeah, you can't not play him.
Like, if you don't play Vicario in this game, I think I think he'll feel disrespected, to be honest.
Yeah.
At this point. So Vicario in goal, right back, Pedro Porro. That's a no-brainer. And in terms of catching PSG out with their high line, he's going to be super vital to that.
Yeah, that long pass ability he's got deep inside his own half. He's going to need that. Well, hopefully a few early crosses as well, if given the opportunity. And as I say, Chelsea really use that Malo Gusto overlap to really good effect to Porro if he can learn from that. Kavicha is not the best player to track back, so if Porro can relentlessly try and overlap with the player we're going to pick on the right, I think that's going to be very important.
Yeah, so Pedro Porro right back, right centre back is obviously going to be Cuti Romero. Frank says he hasn't picked his captain yet, which I thought was quite interesting. When is that captain going to be named? Surely it's got to be, maybe it's in the press conference now.
Might be, and we're going to need, obviously we're going to need our cap. Well, for our first competitive games, he's going to need a captain for it, right? He's going to have to have picked his captain for the first competitive game.
I think it will be Romero.
When did Ange pick the captain before pre-season?
No, I think it was on the eve of the season or something.
Was it on the eve of the season?
I think so.
Or was it after Kane left?
It was after Kane left, which was pretty much on the eve of the season.
Because I'm trying to think, in that video where he announced the captain, was Kane there? He wasn't there, was he? And Kane only left on the eve of the season.
Yeah.
So
I think it was all like in the same 24-hour period.
Yeah, it must have been. Can't remember. Anyway, I think it is going to be Cuti, and I think we'll get that announcement soon.
Yeah, I think he might announce it in the press conference now, the captain. But Porro right back, Romero right centre back, left centre back will be obviously Mickey van de Ven. Yeah, I think because we're probably going to be sitting so deep, you won't really see those marauding runs or recovery runs from Mickey. But what I did notice against Bayern, that he was much more I say dominating. We lost 4-0 and we created and we conceded so many chances, but he was winning a lot of headers.
Yeah, he seems to be working on that, which is something which, he's 6'4". You would think he's should be good at that in the air, but actually that's something he's struggled with, I feel, since he's come to Spurs. But definitely seemed good at that in the game against Bayern.
Oh, wow.
What?
They're saying in the press conference, Frank says Bissouma hasn't travelled because of disciplinary reasons.
Wow. Is that so? So it's not really. That's disappointing.
And he's saying Solanke's ready is available for selection.
Okay, that's good as well. Trying to see. So Bissouma for disciplinary. Maybe he's has not travelled due to disciplinary reasons. He says Destiny is close, so he's not. It sounds like he's not available. And Solanke is positive and available for selection.
Bissouma, man,
that's disappointing.
Constantly
Bissouma.
letting this club down.
That's 2 summers in a row he's had disciplinary.
Constantly letting us down, man. Bissouma.
2 summers in a row.
Yeah, he's done. He's done at this football club.
We know he wanted to sell him, but it's just sad to end like that.
Yeah, he's done
with another disciplinary.
Absolutely done. But look, let's get back
Spence.
Spence at left back.
Definitely Spence now, because the doggy is confirmed isn't close enough. So one thing I would say as well about fullbacks, I actually think so. In pre-season we've had this one goes far up and one's kind of hanging back. I feel like it makes sense when it's Porro and a doggy that a doggy goes up and Porro stays back. That's what we've been doing. I feel like when it's Spence though, it should probably be Spence staying back and Porro going up.
I agree with that. First of all, because you can get Porro from the wide areas putting in those crosses, and I just think Spence is the better of the defenders.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So and I feel like against Bayern it was still Spence going up, and I think that was a bit of our undoing. I think he should have stayed back. All right. So
that's the back four. Moving into the midfield, the big question mark is João Palhinha going to play? Is he going to be?
One player with definitely Bentancur, right? He's starting.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to be there. Who's been a main fixture in the pre-season. So yeah, the other 2 positions is the big one.
Is João Palhinha going to play?
Is João Palhinha going to play?
I'm going to hazard a guess and say yes. I think he will play. I'm going to say that obviously he looked out of sorts in the Bayern game. I think that he'll have a lot more training into him. He'll be a bit more ready. And I think Frank's going to think we're going to need him in this game. So I'm going to say he is going to play.
Okay, I'm happy to go with that. And I think there's a good chance, because I think this game is going to need experience as well. And it's going to need some patrolling that centre. So I'm going to go, I'm going to agree with that. But I'm just a bit worried about being able to pass through them. But
I'm worried about all of them. But yeah, especially João Palhinha.
So the question is, do we go Sarr or do we go Bergvall?
Sarr or Bergvall. So obviously Sarr has been there.
Done really well.
He's done fairly well. I think it probably will be Sarr. I kind of want to see Bergvall there, but I think Sarr just adds a bit more kind of work rate. I know Bergvall works hard as well, but Sarr's got that endurance. So I think Sarr plays there.
I think Sarr plays there as well. And as well, he's been getting in more goal-scoring positions. I think that's something he's been working on. So I think if it was up to me, I probably would go Bergvall. But yeah, I think he will go Sarr for the beginning bit, and maybe Bergvall will come on at some point. So I think the obvious one off the right will be
is Mo
Kudus. He'll be there. Then the questions are
For me, Odebear. I don't want to see Brennan start on the left in this game. He's putting stinkers on the right and the left all through pre-season. Odebear, every time he's played, he's impressed me. A willingness to drive, a willingness to cut inside, get shots off. If we're going to hurt them from the left-hand side, it's more likely going to be Odebear than Johnson, in my opinion. So I think he's going to play Odebear.
I think this game could be a perfect game for Brennan to be a super sub as well.
Yeah, potentially.
I think coming off the bench,
Johnson
if we need
again,
a goal,
in a cup final.
Need a goal. All right, I want to see Odebear there, or maybe even Tell, but I think Odebear's been the one who's been there. So we're going to go Odebear. And the striker.
Yeah, I think it's Solanke.
I think it's Richarlison.
I think he's saying Solanke's back. He's fit enough to play. I think he's going to start.
I think he's going to be on the bench, Solanke. I think Richarlison's been playing most of pre-season. I think he's the one who's been starting, and I don't know if Solanke is fit enough. He might be fit enough to play, but is he 100% to start? Is he ready to go from the beginning? Is he at his freshest? Is he going to be someone to come on, right? Or is it, is he going to be on the bench? I think he goes Richarlison.
Could he play Johnson as the striker?
He could, actually, if he's cooking something. I think he is. I just think he's going to go Rishi. I think he's going to start Richarlison up front.
Doesn't fill me with much hope, Richarlison up front in this game.
I just think that's the direction he's going to go. I think he's been started him.
You've been filling YouTube with a lot of Richie propaganda in the last few days.
I just think he's going to start him. That's all I think. I think Solanke's back and he's available to play, but doesn't mean he's available to start.
All right, go Richie. I mean, I do think it will be Solanke, but we'll go Richie.
I think it's going to be Richie. I think he likes Richie.
So that is, he said that he liked Bissouma as well, but clearly not anymore. But that is our starting lineup, the predicted lineup for PSG. Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Jed Spence left back, a back two of Van de Ven and Kuti Romero, Palinia and Bentancur on a double pivot, Pape Matar ahead of him, Kudus on the right, Odebear on the left, and Richarlison up top.
So, okay, yeah. There's been a little update on. He's gone into more detail about Bissouma. He said he's been late several times, and now this time, the latest time, was one too many. There needs to be demands and consequences, and this time there was a consequence.
What is he doing, man?
He missed the flight. He was late for the flight. And that was something, if you remember, Ange said. He said, I want you to be one of the leaders in the dressing room. I really believe in you. And he said the next day he was late. and he said like that was really disappointing that the next day he was late.
I like it though that actually Frank is disciplining him for being late when Ange comes like, oh yeah, he was just late the next day. Like Ange only really disciplined him for the balloon thing, never disciplined him for being late. So look, for me, Bissouma's done at this football club. It's just problem after problem after problem. More problems than good performances for Bissouma. And it's just very frustrating. And I think on his day, he can be an unbelievable midfielder. He was so vital to us in the Europa League towards the end of that. But
it seems as though he's always been his own worst enemy.
100%.
Bissouma.
100%. He needs to go. We need to find a buyer for him. And when these problems prop up, clubs that he wants to go to diminish. That's the issue. He's only got a year left in his contract, and maybe he'll be willing to go somewhere. But maybe as time progresses, we might even be willing to let him go out on loan for a year, just to see out his last year of his deal. I don't know, but I think he's done here.
Yeah, look. We knew he was up for sale this summer. Maybe that's maybe he knows that as well, which has maybe led to him behaving in this way. But
What was he? He did the same under Ange.
yeah, I don't know how often he was late under Ange, but we know he was late that one time after he said he was going to be a big part of the dressing room. But look, I think we always know it's his mentality that's always been a big problem, and a lot of managers have have not been able to sort that problem out. And it seems as though it's come to a head now. He's been left out of a Super Cup squad, which I'm sure he would have had maybe a part to play if he was, wasn't late all the time. And look, this is professional football. You got being on time is the most basic thing for them. And I know a lot of managers. If you hear a lot of managers when they come into jobs or whatever, and they talk about fundamentals, all of them talk about be on time, don't be late. That's like just a simple thing, just as respect, that kind of stuff.
It's
so
disrespectful to everyone that you're working with. Everyone's busting their gut, be on time, working hard, and he's there like doing balloons and coming late to training. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah, and this is a senior player. It's not like he's a young player as well. He's nearly 30, and he's still late. He's still consistently late. Like, that's just that at some point. And I'm assuming the fact that he said he's been late several times. I'm assuming like every time he's been told, right? You can't do this, and it's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And look, I don't know what's going on in his personal life, whether there's stuff going on that's leading to this, but whatever the case is, it's just sad that this is the way it ends, and it's something that has plagued him throughout his time at Tottenham. And look, we know his time was up anyway, probably this summer, but I think if there was any question about it, I think we have our answer now, definitive.
Yeah. And let's hope that we can see an ending in sight in terms of a club coming in and getting a deal done. I like Biss. I thank him for the Europa League run and everything like that. I thank him for the first 10 games under Ange Postecoglou when he was like the best midfielder in the Premier League for that small amount of time. But apart from that, I think his Spurs career has been a bit of a disaster. That's the reality. So is what it is. I had such high hopes for him as well when we signed him. I thought we were getting one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and he was going to be an unbelievable player for us. But it hasn't worked out for that like that. He hasn't got the right mentality, hasn't got the right professionalism, and I think his time at Tottenham is pretty much done now. I don't think we're going to see him in a Spurs shirt again.
Mm-mm. He says captain will be named tomorrow in the team, and the leadership group will be known by the end of the month. So I'm guessing whoever's captain tomorrow is the captain, I'm guessing.
So the captain will be named tomorrow in the team. Why can't he just tell us who the captain is?
Secret. He wants it to be a surprise. I'm guessing it's going to be Romero.
Like, it's no secret. Just say the captain is Kuti.
And you see, he's talking about Kinski. He says, Kinski, I'm very pleased with him. There's good competition. Last season, we needed 4 keepers. In my opinion, he's got a great season ahead of him. And here at Tottenham this season, I'm guessing that's in response to the links of him maybe going on loan.
Keepers?
He said last season we needed 4 keepers.
Right.
Which is
anything else?
Not at the moment. There's still a few filtering through. He didn't really. He just said, I'm not going to talk about him.
Classic.
He said there's a lot of good players out there. That's all he said. I mean, there's going to be more quotes filtering out. But that's all we have at the moment. I'm guessing we'll get the full thing in due course.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously the shocking thing about that is Bissouma being left out of the squad for disciplinary reasons, which I believe is probably the last we're going to hear of Bissouma until he's sold from this football club. But that is it from us today. We take a very early flight tomorrow morning to to Verona, then driving to Udine, me, Sim and Amir on European tour once again. And it's good omens as well because us 3 work together in Bilbao as well. So it's going to be the same result. We'll bring home the trophy. We'll be back in the studio on Friday, preview for the Premier League. So a lot to look forward to. Watch along will be Ashmatic and Marlon, who were also on the watch along when we brought home that European trophy. So all the omens are the same. But thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you all out in Udine.